Ms. Lovemore Kurotwi.
You're important for us to know your designation as well.
Okay, I'm Chairman, Zimbabwe Diamond Education College and the Zimbabwe Diamond Center.
And what about your involvement in Canada? We also want you to tell us your full CV, chairperson of that, but you also had you before us in terms of some of the going on when you're involved in diamond mining. So if you could also tell us your role in that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was chairman for Coal Mine and Minerals, a South African-based company which partnered with the ZMDC in 2009. That joint venture between Coal Mine and Minerals and ZMDC formed a local company called Canada Miners.
Thank you very much. That was the most important.
Thank you.
For introductions. Members of the media, can you also introduce yourselves?
My name is
Sorry, Mr. Kumbuka from Bloomberg. I know it's coming down, but Mr. Kumbuka from Bloomberg. Thank you.
My name is Activit, the Source News Agency.
Good morning, my name is Ron Mashiraiza. I'm on ZBC News.
My name is Rosala from here, Academy.
Good morning, my name is Daniel Chigondo with Obert Mpofu.
You are Obert Mpofu. Okay.
I represent.
I'm wondering who Obert Mpofu is now. Mr. Kurotwi, thank you very much. I would like you to take oath so that we go straight into the business of the day.
I, Lovemore Kurotwi, swear that the evidence that I will give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth, so help me God.
Mr. Kurotwi, thank you very much for accepting our invitation for you to appear before the Committee on Mines and Energy, for the committee. The reason that you're here is to give us an understanding of operations. When you were involved in the coal for South Africa and then the Canada as well. If you could just give us a brief account of how you got into mining, into the diamond mining industry, who your partners were, and your relationship with ZMDC, what you produced in your mining, the challenges that you equally faced, and why you are not mining yet. You are involved in diamond mining. So we want you to give us a full account of that, and then at any given time, if there's any clarity that the committee seeks, we'll certainly ask you. Some members of this committee are eagerly waiting for you to give us your testimony. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My involvement in Chiadzwa started sometime in 2006 when Chiadzwa was invaded by artisanal miners in 2006. That's when I got interest. I did apply to the mining commissioner of Manicaland for a concession as a private company, local company. After that, I traveled several countries because I wanted to acquire equipment to mine someone who had applied for a concession. By that time, concessions were applied by interested parties. So I was also an interested party. But in my engagements then with the other players in the world, I got an advice then that if there was an opportunity to engage the Zimbabwean government, I was advised to advise the Zimbabwean government to nationalize Chiadzwa. The reasons, according to the foreign people whom I engaged, they said the resource was too rich to be exploited by individuals. So when I came back from the airport, I passed through Minister of Mines, wanting to see the Minister of Mines, the late Amos Smith. I remember that day there was a cabinet, so I left a message with the secretary that as soon as he's back, he can call me. I've got something to share. So fortunately, that afternoon, when the minister came back, he called, and I visited his office, and I gave him the advice, which I got from outside. By that time, I had my papers, which I had applied for the concession, and I showed him, look, this is the position, but from my finding, I'm advised that government of Zimbabwe should nationalize so that you exploit as government, because the resource is said to be too rich for it to be exploited by private entities. So the minister just told me that, no, look, you gave me a very rich information. I will call you if we need more information. So it took them almost, I think, 3 years, that engagement with the Minister of Mines, until they accepted. I think that was sometime in 2008, towards the end of 2008. That's when the government accepted to nationalize the resource. But unfortunately, during that period, demonization of this country was at a peak. It was not easy to engage foreign investors into Zimbabwe. I had several meetings with Minister of Mines, the Central Bank then, where I also recommended that there are investors who are keen, who can partner with the Zimbabwean government. I recommended about 2 companies, Coal Mining and Namakwa Diamonds, which was a London listed then. So those 2 companies were accepted, and a memorandum of understanding was signed in 2009. Namakwa could not proceed. Namakwa was actually replaced by Grandwell. That's the advice I got from the former Minister of Mines. So that's how I got involved. I was a shareholder of Coal Mining South Africa. So we partnered with the ZMDC to form Canadel. That was 2009. Unfortunately, that period, the resource also, the Chiadzwa, was not a clean resource.
Sorry, you were a shareholder. What was your stake? How much shares did you own?
My shares, I owned 46% in core.
And 46% of the rest, the 54, who did it belong to? You had 46%.
Yes.
Can you just tell me, Michael, who then owned the difference, which is the 54?
There was Yehuda Lich, Adrian Taylor, the Aslanian group, and the Subitri Naidu.
So we can safely say the 54% was in the hands of the foreigners. The 46 was in your name.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify that. You may proceed.
So when after signing, unfortunately, the resource, which is Marange, was not a clean resource, in the sense that there was litigation between Zimbabwean government and ACR. On our joint venture, foreign investor was supposed to bring capital plus machinery. Our partner, ZMDC, was supposed to avail the resource, which is the mining concession. And in our contract, we were supposed to invest, to bring equipment plus machinery. Over and above that, it was also our responsibility to continue investing for the life of the mine until we invest about $1 billion. That was our condition. So what it meant was, if ever we were going to agree on the equipment to be procured, it was the responsibility of the foreign investor to procure until we exhaust the agreed $1 billion. So when after that...
Sorry, just a point of clarity. This $1 billion investment, was it part of the condition? And was it in black and white?
Yes, it's actually in our contract. It was conditional because we did agree and signed in the contract.
Did it have a time frame?
Yes, it does. The time frame was for the life of the mine. If the mine was going to go for 50 years, we were expected to invest that $1 billion within 50 years.
Sorry, it leads to certain questions, much as I want to go through. Had you done exploration? Because how can you invest in so much when you don't explore? What are you investing in?
Right. By that time we didn't, but we were basing the investment on the experience. because I remember the first day I visited
It's
Chiadzwa.
okay, I just wanted
Oh. Okay, no, we haven't.
exploration done before.
No, but I wanted to explain where we were based.
I will give you an opportunity later, but I just wanted
Okay.
You may proceed.
So, as I've mentioned earlier on, that we had two challenges when we started. There was a KP issue. There was also litigation issue from ACR. We had invested money, we were on the ground, but when we were on the ground, there was a serious challenge from the inspection which was done by the KP members to Chiadzwa when they came, headed by the Deputy Minister of Liberia. They found out that when they came, we were not compliant. By the time they visited, that was way soon after we signed our contract. So we quickly brought in equipment, established it, and we did exactly what was expected for the country to comply before we went for plenary session in Swakopmund, Namibia, in end of 2009. So fortunately, the KP people who came did not take pictures or videos of how we were mining. So when we discovered that they have just submitted a report, we took a video. That video is the one which actually assisted the Zimbabwean government not to be expelled from KP at our first plenary session in Swakopmund. So whilst all that was happening, I had an issue with the minister, the former minister of mines, Honorable Obert Mpofu. Honorable Mpofu, soon after we signed the MOU, he used to call me asking for meetings together with my investors. So we have gone several times to his office, and he had asked me who the most senior person was among my investors. So I told him the senior was Yehuda Lich. After every meeting, he would ask Yehuda to remain in his office with him, and we were all asked to wait in his reception. After the meeting, Yehuda used to complain to me that no, the minister is asking for money. He did that, I think, 3 times, asking for Yehuda, money from Yehuda Lich, until Yehuda didn't know what to tell the minister. That's when I approached the minister myself and asked him.
Sorry, on the point of clarity, money for what? He was asking for money for getting the permission to mine in Chiadzwa.
Sorry, Chairman. Money for what? To pay the license? What is it?
No, that was bribe money. Not yeah.
If you can clarify that.
Okay, that was money to bribe for permission to get the license.
Like how much?
What kind of quantities are we talking about? What bribe money? 10 million? 10 million?
No, the money, when I confronted him, I asked him why he was demanding money from investors. He said, no, you people, I've allowed you, so you must give me something. I said, what money are we talking about? He said 10 million. I asked him, how am I going to give you that 10 million? If I've got cash, can I give you that money? He said, no, you come home. So the money which he asked for was 10 million, but I didn't see logic of paying that much, that money. As I've indicated that I did not start working through him I started years before, long before he was appointed Minister of Mines. So I didn't see logic why he should be given that money. So I refused to give him that money. That is where we had friction with him. We had serious problems until that matter was known by the president, the former president. We were invited, the two of us, to meet the president.
The former president.
The former president, yes. So we met him, and we had a meeting which took almost 5.5 hours. And in that meeting, I told the former president that, look, I'm being persecuted by the minister because I refused to pay him the 10 million which he has demanded. So the president reprimanded him in my presence and told him that he has got no right to demand money from investors. So I left the meeting being a very happy man because he confirmed, the former president did confirm my president that he was not allowed to do that. But to my surprise, after that meeting,
Thank you, Chair. If you can also just go further by maybe just informing us what was his reply when the president demanded. Did he accept that indeed he had asked some monies from him when the president asked him, when the former president asked him?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable. Yes, before the former president reprimanded him, he was asked to respond. By then, when he had panicked, he was shaking like this. The former president asked him several times to respond. He did not respond anything. He did not respond because he was asked to respond and he could not respond.
Okay, you may proceed. Okay,
thank you, Honorable Chair. I just want to confirm for Mr. Kurotwi, the meeting was really for 5 hours. Was there a register that you entered in when you were getting to the State House, and when you were coming out, you entered also? So was it really for 5 hours?
Yes, it was. What the reason why it took that?
Members, let's seek clarity. I think questions are coming. I think in terms of clarity, that's what we need to seek. So let me finish. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you very much. So I will lose track of my thing. Right. After our meeting, that was when I was arrested, accused of misrepresenting information to him that there was a company which was supposed to invest 2 billion into Chiadzwa, and that company did not invest that money. And we had litigation which took almost 6-7 years. After that, I was acquitted of any wrongdoing. After my acquittal, I went back to the ministry asking for restoration. I couldn't get joy. I also wrote several letters to the former president. I also didn't get joy. After the former minister Chiadzwa left, I've also written to the new minister, Honorable Chitando, and I'm still waiting for the response. I haven't get any response to that. And I've also written to the president, His Excellency Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa, and I'm still waiting for the response. The third one, I've written to Zach, I haven't received response also up to date. That is in brief what we have done.
You did favor us with a copy that is signed. What I want you to do is to confirm that this is your copy which you signed, so I will hand it over to you, and most of our questions will come from the copy after you confirm it, so the copy will be shown to you, and if you just confirm that yes, it is true that this is your copy, this is your signature. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In fact, I forgot because you wanted to know how much we have mined.
Okay, that's okay, but just confirm the copy so that we don't...
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. So members, that document is confirmed to be to originate from me. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we have also asked it, wanting to know how much we have mined. We started mining in end of 2009, and we were doing monthly production recordings, which I will also furnish you with the summary of what we produced. The first month we mined was in December 2009. We produced 57,000 carats, 537. January, we produced 115,699.15. In February, we produced 173,315.77. In March, we produced 215,000 carats, 650.65. April, 152,726.3. In May, 155,069.6. June, 92,979.35. July, 160,999.35. August, 102,000. September, 140,000. October, 144,734. November, 206,463.25. The total production we did during our time was 1,774,174.42. This was the production we did. And during this time we were mining, that's when I said we were having serious issues with KP. So we were not authorized to sell diamonds. So we were mining, stockpiling them. Our office then were in Mutare. That's where Canada offices were. Before we were chucked out of our mine, we have made 2 sales of 10.6 million each.
Sorry, you say you were checked out.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Right. After I was arrested, the Canadian miners were taken by Marangi. What was called Marangi was actually Canada. They were using Canada equipment, everything. They only changed name from Canada to Marangi. So when they took over, we stopped to receive any dividend whatsoever. So that mine was now owned 100% by Marange Resource. We left 1,400,000 carats in our Mutare vaults. We also left $10.6 million with MMCZ and all the mining equipment which I have mentioned, which was now used by Marange. And we understand Marange, there is now a new entity called ZCDC, which has taken over. So the same equipment is still being used by the new entity, Zimbabwe Diamond Consolidated Company.
Sorry, Chair.
Yes, what's your point of clarity?
Sorry, Chair, I've heard the issue of 1.7 million carats, but can you put it in monetary terms so that we get to know what it is that he's talking about in terms of value? He has given us that they mined 1.7 million carats. Can you put it in monetary value? He had started saying we had two sales, one of 10.6 million, but can you put it in monetary terms? Can you continue?
Yeah, I think it's only fair to have a total figure that is attached to those
During that time's value, it was around $150 million US.
Could I just clarify something? Have you at all made any attempts to get back your equipment? Perhaps attempts such as approaching the courts?
I think that's one of the questions, and I'll make sure you do ask that. I think question. It's an important question, so I'll give you an opportunity to ask. All I want is to ensure that, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I heard Mr. Kurotwi mention the quantity of diamonds in terms of carats. What I wanted to find out, the quantity of these diamonds, were they graded, and what was the value per carat on those diamonds? Because you can say 1 million carats, but were they $100 per carat, $50 or $2 per carat? I just needed that for the carat.
That's a good point.
And then
they were all diamonds, or they were already.
When he mentioned that they wanted to invest $1 billion over the lifespan, what I wanted to find out from you is there documentation of how the money was brought in terms of the investment, how they brought the money into
We did respond to that when I said there is, that was part of the condition of the agreement. Whether the money came through or not, that's not what we can ask, but he did respond to that fact that it was part of the agreement. So there is something in black and white. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Major. All done with committee now go straight into the questions. Are we done with the issues that we might want to have an understanding before we ask questions?
When he mentioned the diamonds, in terms of quantity, were these alluvial diamonds or kimberlite diamonds?
I think he's going to respond to that. I think if you could respond to that.
Right, I will start with what the Honorable have asked it, whether the diamonds were graded. During that time, 20% of the production were clean gem stuff. They were very good diamonds. So we had 3 grades then. We had 3 grades. We had gem, which was 20% of the production. We had near gem. Then we had the other grades, botched and other grades. So 20% of the production then were, as I said, they were very clean stones, which were fetching very high price then. Even our near gem were also very good because you could recover from polishing. You could actually recover very good quality from the near gem. Even the low grade, some of them had also some good stones inside. That was the nature of our stones. Sorry. So we knew that whatever we produce, 20% was clean stuff.
I think for the benefit of us, myself too, I think members of Parliament better understand what is a gem.
Thank you.
What is in terms of, and what is the average price?
Okay. Diamonds fetch more when it does not have any impurity inside the stone. Any stone which is clean, which does not have any impurity, is what we call a gem. And that stone fetches more. Any diamond which has got some impurity inside is a near gem. Then we also have another grade which they call botched. Those ones are the ones which are used for industrial purposes. They grind and use for tooling and other uses. So the gem are the ones which are used for jewelry. When you cut it, it will be sparkling and it looks, attractive when you put it on the ring. That's what we call a gem. And those ones do fetch a lot of money. So 20% of the production were those good stones.
So 20% were gems, and then the ones with impurity, what was the percentage? If we just break it down.
He says 20% was gem, but he's not mentioning gem ranges between what price range and what price range.
I think it's important.
So I only want to tell you what was the price range there.
I think in responding to that, I think the thin price issue is what is key, that the gem range from this price.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The gem then was ranging from $250 to $300 per carat. Then other grades were also lower. Some were 100. The cheapest ones were from 20, 50, depending on how good it is. Because the problem with diamonds is each stone has got its own characteristics and it has got its own value. So you need to see the stone so that you can give a value. But what I know is the clean stones, that was the range it was ranging.
So I think we are done with matters of clarity. I'll ask a question and then I'll open it up to other members to also ask questions.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, there was this question which was asked by the Honorable Mosha.
You might as well respond to
Mosha yandai pomerwa tabva kuno patakaenda ku meeting ne vaimbova mutungamiri wenyika. Vaimbova minister wemines vakazondipomera mhosva yekuti ini ndakavanyepera kuti paiva neimwe kambani yaiuya muZimbabwe ichida kuchera madiamonds asi yaida kuuya nemari inoita mabhiriyoni 2. Iyi mhosva panga pasina mhosva. Nyaya yanga iripo ndeyekuti ini nevaimbova minista takanga tisina kuwirirana pamari yavakange vachida yechioko muhomwe yaiita iyo 10 million. Mari yavaida vachiti takubatsirai kuti muwane mukana wekuchera muchiadzwa. Saka zvavakaita ndezvokuti vakatanga kunomang'ara kuserious fraud squad. Ini vanhu vakanditora vanga vari veserious fraud squad. Ndatorwa ndanotaura navo ndichitaura zvazviripo. Pakanetsa kuti veserious fraud squad kuti vaone fraud yacho kuti yanga iri papi, zvakavanetsa. Inini vandivharira uko ndobva vadzokera kune vanga vandimhangarira kuti nyaya munotaura yekuti munhu wakaita fraud, isusu fraud yacho hationi. Vaya vashayiwa nyaya veserious fraud squad, nyaya yakazo uyu waimbova mukuru wezvekucherwa vaMpofu vakazotaura neaiva mukuru wemineral unit imwe bazi remapurisa, ndiye akazoita kuti inini vandisunge vachindipomera mhosva iyo kuti ndakanyepera minista, kuti pane kambani yaifana kuuya pinza mari anoita mabhiriyoni 2. Saka zvaita saizvozvo vakazosevenzesa gweta ravo rainzi Faraim Tamangira rainga riri raminista, ndo rakazokumbirwa kuti ritsvake mhosva. Saka vakangoverengawo bepa ranga ririmo ndobva vangoti tatowana mhosva, munhu une mhosva yekuti wakakunyeperai kuti nyika maifana kuya 2 billion. Nyaya iyo ndiyo yakanetsa ikagara mumatare kwemakore anopfuura 6 manomwe. Wainzi Pondo anga ari senior assistant commissioner Pondo, ko zvino ndionzwa sokuti wakuzaki kuZimbabwe anti-corruption. Ndiye akazoita nyaya yacho iyi.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson. My supplementary question is to Mr. Kurotwi. Can we then say the confiscated assets your assets were linked to this arrest and this training and so forth, or it was a different matter altogether?
Thank you, Honorable. According to the former minister's letter, he wrote a letter instructing ZMDC then that they...
So the next time we refer to the former minister, say his name, there will be many former ministers.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman. The former minister, Obert Mpofu, he wrote a letter to ZMDC instructing them to stop giving us our dividend, and also those who were not arrested, my partners, were actually instructed to leave the country by Goodwill's Masimiremba.
Who is Goodwill's Masimiremba? Who was he?
Goodwill's Masimiremba was chairman for ZMDC then. The board chairperson, yes. And he's the one, together with the Faraim Tamangira, who were instructed to investigate us, and they are the people who actually found out that I misrepresented to the minister, hence my arrest.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Kurotwi, I would like to know what action the former president took when he heard that you are now under arrest after you have reported that the former Minister of Mines, Honorable Obert Mpofu, you have reported it to the president, then you are now being arrested and what action did you took as the head of state?
I think that's a question for the head of state to answer. It's not for Mr. Kurotwi, it's a question for the former president to answer. So as a committee, you have the right to also bring before and asking that question in view of the fact of getting Mr. Kurotwi to report to you that your new minister was asking for advice. What did you do? I think it's for the former president to answer. It's quite inviting. So I think, yes, I think members have the power to ask anybody to appear before us. And it only makes logical sense that he does respond to it. Honorable, you had a question that you were going to ask. I said I'll come back to you. Let me start with you on that one, and then I'll come to Honorable Chiadzwa. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it comes in at this particular time to find out what attempts you made to reclaim your equipment, and then also a point of clarity. Tamangira and company sent to investigate you, and in turn you are also asked to pay their fee. I'm just wondering how this comes about, if you may clarify.
Thank you, Honorable.
I think a follow-up on that. Who's on Tamangira? Is he a law enforcement agent? Is he part of the Attorney General's office? Who is he?
Faram Tamangira is a private attorney, a private lawyer, who was used by the former minister Obert Mpofu.
So a private lawyer
was
tasked to investigate.
Yes.
Yet the state has got the police and the prosecutor general's office.
That's really boggles the mind, because that's exactly what happened. I was investigated by Faram Tamangira together with the Goodwills Masimirembwa, who was the chairman of ZMDC then.
And there's a question of that you were asked to also pay 300,000. Maybe the question to you is, there were 3 diamond companies that were asked to pay Faram Tamangira 300,000, and you were one of the companies. What was that 300,000 for?
Right. I was not part of the companies which were supposed to pay Faram Tamangira. The minister wrote a letter to ZMDC chair and ZMDC and the MMCZ general manager. The third one was for Marangi Resource. So the 3 of them were instructed to pay Faram Tamangira 200,000 each. But to our surprise, on the same letter which came from the former minister Obert Mpofu, Goodwills Masimirembwa, who was the former chairman, wrote in his handwriting that ZMDC to pay was supposed were instructed to pay 200, MMCZ 200, Canada minus 300. It was 300 Canada minus 150 for ZMDC and MMCZ. So we challenged that, and we wanted reasons why we are paying Faram Tamangira. That's why we had to report the matter, and the matter we didn't get joy from the police. Our question was, we have never engaged Faram Tamangira, and the letter from the former minister was very clear that money was supposed to come from 3 companies, which are state-owned companies. But unfortunately, instead of Marange Resource paying Faram Mangera for whatever services which we don't know why they were paying Faram Mangera, we were made to pay that money. And in our report, we also asked for the police to check whether ZMDC or Marange did not also pay from their side, as we were made to pay half of what was supposed to be paid by 3 companies.
So you actually paid the money?
The money was paid into Farai Mtamangira's account.
Into?
Farai Mtamangira's account.
Did you get a receipt?
We have got the bank statements to prove that.
But did you get a receipt?
No, we did not get anything. The money was just transferred from Canada into Farai Mtamangira's account.
Did your board really sanction this transaction?
That's a follow-up from Honorable Gebele. Sorry, what's the question, Honorable Gebele?
If they paid, then someone who sat on the board really sanctioned this, so they must have been privy to the goings on. Did they really allow for this payment?
No one sanctioned any payment. The biggest challenge we had, the way things were managed, was very difficult because everything was coming from the former minister, Obert Mpofu, and he could just bulldoze his way. As I'm saying, from this transaction, instruction was very clear, but this good news, Masimirembwa, just instructed money to be transferred from Canada into Farai Mtamangira. We advised even the minister that this is what had happened. He did not take action. That's why we had to report it to the police, which also police did not take any action.
What I want to find out, what was the purpose? We are coming to you. I think members, let's be patient with this issue. I would like to understand what the purpose of the money was.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Personally, I also don't know. As I said, we have never engaged the services of that lawyer, Farai Mtamangera. I also don't know. That's the reason why we had to report this matter.
Is it a follow-up of this or a new question? They indicate it is a follow-up, members. But Honorable Brown.
Thank you, Chair. He's saying they were asked to pay the money, and why did they pay the money if they did not have any services from the so-called lawyer? Because as an organization, I don't think you could just pay because someone is saying you must pay.
I think
Thank you.
The issue, as it was an instruction to pay the money, and he also did talk about how the minister wielded so much power. And we also appreciate that the minister is coming before us. I think it's worthy a question to ask the minister that leading to what the oral evidence that you're giving here, Honorable Brown. I think it is a very good question for the minister, because the aspect is that the minister is responsible, is the authority in that ministry. But how he discharges his duties is subject to us having oversight. Was it within expected ways or not? So I think that question is pertinent to ask the minister.
Sorry, no question.
Yes.
Thank you. I think the issue like what
I'm coming to you with a new question. I'm continuing. There is order. I'm continuing supplementary when they are done. Then I'll come to your new question. So be patient. Allow members of Parliament to feel free and ask.
I think the issue which needs some clarification, taking it from what Honorable Brown just said, is the issue of where was that money being kept. Because, for example, like what rightly said, that the minister had the authority, but did he have the authority even to instruct the bank of Canada? So the issue is, Where was that money? Was it kept in the bank or it was with MMCZ? Was it like, I mean, even though he had the authority, but then I don't think he had even the authority to instruct the bank to transfer, because it's obviously the bank had to seek authority from them first. So I think that's where the question which maybe he needs to clarify.
But did you also listen to him say that we did object to that? But in the end, if I'm not mistaken, you did right, trying to query where you're being paid. Is that right or wrong?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, they did query, why are we paying?
So which means the bank also got the instruction from the minister. Because I'm now talking from the issue of the bank. Because surely I don't think the bank will even get the instruction from the minister, then they will just release the money without their approval.
Maybe I can explain then, Mr. Chairman. What happens during that time, we were board members. Board members, we don't run company. We had management which was running the company. The minister, as I have said, wrote a letter instructing 3 entities, ZMDC, MMCZ, and the Marange Resource, to pay 200 each.
So this letter, sorry for clarity, was written to the board or directly to the companies?
It was written to the board chairperson.
So the minister
wrote
to the board?
To the board, yes.
Okay.
On the same letter, Goodwills Masimirembwa, who was chairman of the MDC, is the one who now wrote another instruction. That letter is there, using his own writing, handwriting, splitting now.
So I have to ask, was it on the letterhead?
From the
letter that he wrote to you using his own handwriting, was it on the letterhead?
No, he wrote on the same letter from the minister.
Okay.
From the minister. That's when he did another split where he said Canada minus 300,000, ZMDC 150, MMCZ 150 to make it 600 instead of 2222 as per the instruction from the minister. As I said, the board, it's not us who were managing the business, it was management. Now management was now instructed to pay using the same letter from the minister, but now endorsed by the ZMDC chair. So they transferred the money. When we saw it, that's when we queried, asking why did you pay this money? We have never engaged the service of Ntamangira. That's where we came in and we did not get joy until we reported the matter to the police.
No, thanks for that point of clarity. Just put things into perspective. Are we still any follow-ups on this?
My questions have not been fully answered.
Which one is that on?
I asked him if they had sought a report.
Thank you.
In the court. And as an extension, I still want to tease out weak corporate governance processes in their system. And I think the honorable member was following up on the same, that if at all we are going to pinpoint a corruption, then it takes 2 to tango. Honestly, you cannot pay for someone, you cannot pay someone 300 and something million on the basis of fraudulent certainly honorable chair.
I think that is the reason why you are doing such a splendid job as a committee of oversight. This is where oversight comes in, and oversight exposes these aspects of governance, and as a committee you shall recommend how things should go. So I think it is part of our job to do that. Honorable Joe.
Can I answer?
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
So you wanted to
answer, he had asked this.
What?
Yes, he did ask it long before, and I was actually going to answer because I've written it here. Yeah, it is true. We have made attempts. Soon after my acquittal, as I have said, I followed the procedure in our MOU. This was a business venture where we agreed in the MOU that in an event that there is a dispute, there were certain steps which were supposed to be taken. First of all, those steps were supposed to be taken by ZMDC from the accusations which were leveled against me. If ever a coal mine had breached, we had agreed in our MOU the stages to follow. But unfortunately, nothing was followed. We were arrested. After being arrested, all the mining equipment, stock, cash was confiscated. So after my acquittal, I followed what we agreed. I approached the arbitration, because that was the recourse which I was supposed to do. It took us so many months because the person who was answerable was the same Faram Tamangira again. And he refused to come to arbitration. He tried by all means to block. In our contract, we agreed that in an event that there is dispute and we failed to agree on the arbitrator, we were supposed to approach the arbitration center to appoint an arbitrator. We did exactly that, and the arbitrator was appointed, the former Judge Chinengo. He wrote letters to them to come for the hearing. Faram Tamangira, as a representative of Minister of Mines and the representative of the ZMDC, refused to come until I approached the ministry myself. I was accused that we cannot negotiate because you have put us to the arbitration. Right? I tried everything, but unfortunately, the person who was used to confiscate our property and who was also used to investigate us and get us arrested is the same person again who was used again when we were supposed to follow our agreement. So we were just going round in circle because he didn't want and he refused.
It is also the same person who's the Minister of Home Affairs, and you cannot report.
What can you, honestly, through Mr. Chair, where can you go to get the recourse?
Do you have faith in the new dispensation in having to deal with this problem?
My experience with Obert Mpofu, the answer is no. I have heard even the finance minister at one point defending Obert Mpofu in Parliament. After that, I wrote a letter myself, I copied the Minister of Finance, where I said, if you don't know what Obert Mpofu did, this is what he did. And I did not get a response.
Can we understand one thing? When we start a question and a supplementaries, they've got to be exhausted. Okay, so be patient. We worked hard, some of the members, in going through this. Allow them to ask questions. They've studied documents. I will not allow a situation where you appear in this committee today when you are not part of the deliberation and of the caucus of this. A lot was put in terms of time, in terms of reading, and we are being thorough. Allow us to be thorough. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Chairman.
Honorable David, I have not recognized you, Honorable Chairman.
I have a point of order, Mr. Chairman.
I have not recognized you, Honorable David, proceed.
I have a point of order.
Honorable David, proceed.
I just
But
want
the
to
point of
check.
order is Chairman overrides everything. I have a point of order.
I have not recognized you, Honorable David,
Then we have
proceed.
a problem.
Honorable David, proceed.
I just want to check with Mr. Kurotwi. Does it occur to you that if you have not yet approached the courts, then you have not exhausted that whole line of recourse? Because clearly arbitration has no teeth in this matter. And for a well-constituted board like yours, you would know that the High Court is a court of all. Why have you not approached the High Court? Because certainly for me, as a member of Parliament, it doesn't sit well with me why, for God's sake, you have been avoiding the High Court. I could quote cases of individuals that were leasing equipment to Mbada, and they have won their cases. Why have you not been approaching the courts?
Thank you, Honorable. In fact, Mutetwa and Kamban had approached the courts. We have got a court case. We are just waiting to be called. We did approach the court.
So they have approached the court. They are just waiting to appear before the courts.
How long has it been that way? Because in this case, you cannot have someone using your equipment for more than 2 years. How urgent was your application from Temba and Company?
That's a very good question, Honorable. Unfortunately, I don't have control of.
I think that's really for the courts. The courts have their own due process. That the question has been answered that the matter is before the courts. I will still on this. Can we proceed to the next? On the follow-up, let me go to Honorable Dina, and then I'll come to you.
Thank you, Chair. With your indulgence, Chair, there is 2 names that have been mentioned, which I believe, with your the indulgence of the committee, I think it would be prudent for us to have one Commissioner Pondo here to speak on his own behalf, instead of just hearing from him. And then there is also, if it is possible, Mr. Chair, through him, is it also possible to have one Mr. Shareholder to collaborate what he was talking about in terms of a bit of a corruptible tendency that was supposed to be going to the former minister from one Mr. Shareholder?
I fear that we're starting to deliberate. I think these are issues that we brought up amongst us when we deliberate in gathering all this oral evidence in terms of going forward. I agree, a lot of issues, a lot of names have been brought up which are subject to us having to think verify. So that is taken a note, and certainly it will be entertained in our deliberations. Honorable Odon, it's a follow-up.
Yes.
Honorable Chiadzwa, then I will go to Honorable Chiadzwa for the next question.
Thank you, Chair. Section 69 of the Constitution speaks about a person's rights. Do you feel that your rights were violated in terms of having a fair hearing on this case? And in Section 71(3)(3), also, do you feel that your property rights were violated in terms of the Constitution?
Thank you, Honorable. Personally, as a person, I feel I was abused, because it's not normal to be subjected to the condition I am into by your own government. To me, it's an abuse, and it happens when you are just a nobody in a country. Those with power can just do whatever they want with impunity, and I'm really down each time I think about it, because.
So the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
And Section 71, in terms of the property rights, you were given 30 days according to the Constitution to claim your property within 30 days. Was that also violated, or you feel that you didn't go that route?
As I said initially, when I was acquitted, we followed what was in our contract. But when we couldn't get joy, that's when we was also to apply to the courts for recourse.
So your rights are also violated?
Yes.
Thank you.
Could I just proffer advice, because I feel I left something hanging?
Okay, why don't you come in after Honorable Chiadzwa?
One or two, maybe you should write down the questions. My first one is on the agreement with the first former minister, Honorable Mliswa. which was then set aside by the former Minister Obert Mpofu. I can't remember the name, the year, but the reason now for me to ask you this question is because the former Minister Obert Mpofu then set aside that agreement and replaced the Namakwa with the green.
I think that's a new question. We don't see how we can supplement. So that's a critical question. We need to come in after Honorable Chiadzwa to finish these issues. Honorable Lebele, you wanted to say something?
Just quickly, Honorable Chairman, just to point out to Mr. Kurotwi, like the same section that Honorable Holder has been quoting so eloquently, provide for access to the court. As members of parliament, we represent the downtrodden, as you put it, like you, and it's a universal truth to say justice delayed is justice denied. I honestly have a doubt that...
But he's gone to court.
No, but the courts cannot hang in there for 4 years. How urgent was that application? So I'm trying to point out to him that there are issues with these lawyers, not the courts. If I approach the courts now, my case can be heard in the afternoon. This is an urgent matter.
But I think the lawyers have put it before the courts. Let us allow the due process to happen. We cannot interfere.
But that's not how the courts work, Honorable Chair. What I'm politely pointing out is there are holes in his presentation. You can't wait 4 years, someone using your equipment, and you say, I'm waiting for due process. That's what I'm pointing out to him.
I think, Honorable Member, I think what I would suggest, can you get the High Court case number? There is a Minister of Justice in Parliament. Part of our job is to carry out issues from here and ask the Minister of Justice to say, there's this High Court case number, it's taken 4 years. Why?
No, it is for Kurotwi and his board themselves to follow up on this one. What I'm saying is what we're hearing here is not true at all.
But that's okay. If it is not true, it's under oath. In your deliberations, you bring all these issues up.
Section 71.
But what I'm saying, Honorable, I think let us allow...
68 grants him access to the court. 4 years. 4 years.
Honorable Chiadzwa, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Mr. Kurotwi, you rightly point to this committee that you lost your bid to mine in Marange because you did not pay 10 million bribe to the former minister. Is that correct?
Yes.
I've got some other companies here which I am not going to divulge at the moment, which transferred a lot of money to different places and to different individuals. Can you tell this committee, if at all you know of other companies who were doing business in Marange because they paid bribes, or other individuals? Well, this is a very serious matter.
Thank you, Honorable. What I know from my experience, the former minister Obert Mpofu told me that he has not introduced my investors to the former president because I have not yet paid him, which I told even the former president in our meeting that the minister told me that he did not introduce my partners to you because I did not pay him. So what he implies is, to me, those whom he introduced must have paid, but I don't know because I'm only basing on what he told me. If I had paid him, my people should also have introduced. But it was only my partners who were not introduced to the former president, according to the former minister Obert Mpofu himself, to me.
I have a follow-up, Honorable Chair.
Okay, Honorable Mr. Kurotwi, to follow up to his question, did you yourself obtain this license in the proper way?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, we did obtain above board. That's why to give you from my historical, that I started working for this 3 years before we were given this license. So according to all what we did, we were given it above board. That is why I didn't find logic to pay him for that bribe.
Honorable Chair, I would want to ask you, Mr. Kurotwi, you are talking of saying the minister said he could not introduce your partners to the former president because he did not pay the bribe. Was that the procedure for people who would want to do business in this country to be introduced to the president? And furthermore, you told us that you finally met the president. Why didn't you introduce your investors direct to the president? Because he had an opportunity to introduce if that was the procedure.
When we met the president, it was only myself. I did not go to meet the former president with my partners. It was only myself and the former minister, Obert Mpofu. Myself, when we signed the contract, I also didn't know that investors were supposed to be introduced to the president. I only got to know from the former minister himself when he was asking for money.
When you met the president, did you raise that issue that I'm not working because the minister is saying he's not yet introduced my investors to you?
Yes.
That former president.
Thank you, Honorable. I did. I told.
I think he came in late. That person was already exhausted.
Okay, thank you.
But I think the question is, why did you not take the investors with you in meeting the president?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I could not take my partners with me because going to the president, if we are called, I cannot say I'm also coming with my team. The name which came was myself. I was wanted together with the minister. So I couldn't say I'm also coming with my people.
Is it a follow-up on this?
I have a follow-up. What was his relationship with the first time?
In fact, just to get the facts right, you got your license from the former minister, the late when the late Amos Smith was minister. Is that it?
No, Mr. Chairman. The late only did the recommendations. The Minister Mpofu came after recommendations were done, but he's the one actually who gave us the license. Minister Mpofu.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, for the.
Thank you, Chairman. Kurotwi says they sat for nearly 5.5 hours with the former president, and clearly is not happy with the outcome of that meeting, and that puts us in an uncomfortable position as a committee because he was alone. Now it's his word against Mpofu's. Fine, but in your view, Mr. Kurotwi, looking back now, do you think the former president was complicit in this whole 10 million request? And then on the question of tenders, you won a tender. Had there been a public advertisement inviting tenders at the time, or you were just cold calling?
Thank you, Honorable. I think from my brief, I did indicate that initially people were applying direct to the provincial mining commissioner. But from the advice I got, that's when I advised the former minister, the late Amos Smith, that as a government they should nationalize Chiadzwa so that Zimbabwean government can also participate in exploiting that rich resource. And I've also indicated that during that time, 2000...
So basically your answer that
there was no tender. Yes, there was no tender.
Let's move to the next one. You have to really go into. So there was no tender which was done. The system is enlarged to the minister. And his idea was to try to nationalize. So there was no tender. Are you satisfied with that?
There is another one that is needed to take.
Which one? Honorable members, it is a process. And be patient. Let's go through the whole process. I'm watching you. I'm noting everyone. But here's the floor. So if there's the floor, how do we conduct ourselves? Allow you to finish. I take note of you. I give you an opportunity. I'm sure you are quite familiar to this process, even in PCC meetings, NEC meetings, where you sit. I'm sure you're given a chance to speak.
Sorry, Honorable, can you come again?
You reported the minister to the most powerful man in the land at the time. And clearly from what transpired, you got no joy. Then I'm saying, as a throwback, do you think the former president was complicit in this demand for a 10 million bribe?
Yeah, in this instance, Honorable, yes, because there is no one even up to date who had bothered even to investigate, check what was on the ground, to check all what I've been complaining about. Yes, there was a problem. He could not do anything.
So it is your admission that the former president was corrupt.
No, I didn't say he was corrupt, but he did not take action. I expected, as a citizen, when I complained to the IS office, I expected investigation of some form to find out the truth of, whether I was telling the truth or not. That's what I expected. Because if you report the IS office, nothing happens. Where do you go?
What I want to ask is a very important question. You report a minister appointed by the president of some illicit going on, and the head of state does not do anything about it. What do you make of it? Do you believe he was part of the corruption? Yes or no?
The former minister, I want to answer you.
It's quite a simple one. You take an issue to the head of state who is the authority, and you say your minister is asking for a bribe. The next thing, it is you arrested, and there's nothing that happens to the minister, and the matter is still quiet. So, do you believe that the former president was part of the shenanigans that the former minister was on about?
Yeah, the way which he defended, yes, I'm left with no another side to think that, yes.
So the former president was corrupt?
He supported the corrupt tendencies.
The question is, was the former president corrupt to your thinking?
Honorable Chair.
I'm to his thinking. I think follow my question. To your thinking.
Can I have your indulgence, Honorable Chair? You might have to protect him because he may not be as politically exposed as
I think let me just agree with you. Let me just say this to you. You are protected under the privilege and immunity of Parliament. And if there's anything that happens or any threats after this, you report to Parliament.
I think he has answered all of us in so many words, but he is uncomfortable to grab the bull by its horn. I know you and I can do that, but
I think Honorable Member, he also has the right to say, I can't answer. I don't think you're his lawyer.
His explanation, he admitted. The former president was corrupt.
As chair, I also have the right to ask so that I get confirmation. And I want to seek confirmation from him in that, in your thinking, was the former president corrupt and was part of this arrangement?
From the way he defended, yes.
Thank you. That's all. Honorables, let's not be other people's lawyers here. Allow the person to speak for himself.
But he already said it.
Let's move to where Honorable Mzoni, where you had a question that you had.
Yes, I want to know how frequent this is the president. If you knew that he was right.
She wants to know how frequent did you visit the president, the former president?
After my arrest, I didn't have access. What I only did was to write him letters. I've been writing letters.
So did he respond to those letters when he wrote the letters?
No, I indicated in my business that he did not respond to any.
I think members, when you come late, yes.
You know, the great thing about having me in that position is to see what I cannot see.
I thank you for that. Can you just respond? I think it's rude for you to keep calling me chairman when I'm speaking.
No, you know what?
I know, but I am speaking. She asked a question which he must answer, and then you're able to call me.
Before he answers, Chair, it's to try and simplify the reason why I was saying. He says he wrote letters. How were those letters posted? Were they posted by swift action pack or hand delivered? How? Maybe the letters never arrived. That's what I want to know. And that's basically what she wants to know.
Okay, that's part of on these letters, yes.
I think we need the copies of those letters as a committee. Also, just saying letters, and even the letter for Masimo and White, we need it. So just saying we have got the copies of the letters, but we are not seeing those letters. Where are the letters?
But I think it's you have the right to ask him a question. Can you submit the letters through the chair before the committee? And I think he has not said no, you have not asked him either. But now that you brought it through the chair, after he's answered the questions packaged by Honorable Zondi and Roda, I will then ask the question, can we have the letters before the committee? I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I personally hand-deliver those letters to State House. And I handed them over to the Principal Director, Tizora.
So can we, as a committee, get any correspondence that you sent to the President or you received in regard to all the issues that you mentioned? This is a follow-up to the proposal by Honorable Jean. Can you get those letters?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I will submit the letters.
It's
I will bring them to your...
When do you think you can avail us those letters?
Latest by tomorrow, you will have them.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Mr. Chair, I think he said that when he was in custody, that's when he wrote letters. And now he's telling us that he went with the letters and he left them. I don't know where he said he left them. So I wasn't. State House. So I'm puzzled.
She wants clarity that you said you wrote the letters in custody. Why did not hear it? But again, how did you get them in custody? How did you get to the State House?
Sorry, I didn't get your question clearly.
The clarity is, she heard you say you were in custody when you wrote the letters. So she's asking you, how would you have gotten the letters to State House when you were in custody?
No, I think she did not get me clearly. I wrote letters after my acquittal, when I was now seeking for restoration. That's when I started writing letters. I was now free. I was out.
Clarification. I heard that he wrote the letters after his acquittal. He was never in custody. I did not hear him being in custody or that being mentioned as chair, unless somebody heard about him being in custody. Okay, let's go.
Mr. Kurotwi, I want to find out, when you deliver the letters to Mr. Tizora, who is the resident director and the former president there as resident, the copies that you purport to have, are they stamped to make sure that you delivered them there and your return copies are stamped? Are they stamped?
That's a good question. The letters, it's like first time I wrote a letter to the former Minister of Mines, Chiadzwa. From Mines, it's stamped, but from State House, I could not get it stamped. It wasn't stamped.
You say you delivered the letters yourself to State House.
Yes.
Those are the ones I'm making a follow.
No, they were not.
He responded that they were not stamped.
They're not stamped.
They were not stamped. That's what I wanted to know. He said he was explaining those from the minister.
Any questions? Any questions?
Yes, Mr.
Strong advocate here.
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Jesus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I was saying, I just wanted to say to Mr. Ministers coming off the chairperson, but the document and files remain in the office. Now there was this recommendation by the former minister, which then the former minister Obert Mpofu did not take seriously, and then replaced the Namakwa with the Grandwell. That means there was no protection. And he later promised Namakwa that he will give them a concession at the second round. Did this happen? True. The board members during the Minister Mpofu's era, did they have the capacity to adequately represent government in terms of corporate governance, transparency, accountability, in terms of diamonds, transactions, and more? Then the last one is, given his experience, Mr. Kurotwi, did he at any time try to advise the minister, because he was an experienced miner in terms of diamond mining, so that he would have a proper skilled board which would not be then taken for a ride by the foreigners who were experienced with the skills? Did he, as a Zimbabwean, advise the minister? Thank you.
I think those are pertinent questions. First of all, the experience of the Zimbabweans in terms of understanding the diamond mining, because there is a thought that they were undervalued because we did not experience, and that's why the foreigners were coming. The experience of the board as well, in terms of understanding diamonds, what would be your response to those?
Thank you, Chair. From experience, I'm now talking of those who were in my board. All of them had never seen a diamond before. They didn't know anything about diamonds. And the Canada board, all the members who are appointed to be board members of Canada, none of them had ever seen a diamond before. They were ignorant, they didn't know anything about diamonds.
So these board members, so who appointed these board members?
Board members are appointed by ministers. Right? So these board members were appointed by the former minister, Obert Mpofu.
Follow-up, supplementary.
No, there are still questions.
So, yes, the Honorable had also asked whether I advised the minister.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way, as I have indicated earlier on, the way diamond issues were managed, it was a one-man band. The minister uses his own discretion to appoint whoever whom he wants in the board. I wasn't qualified to challenge whoever whom he decided to appoint, as they were representing our partner. Because the partnership was between CORE and ZMDC. We had our own board, and the partner was also coming with their own representative who were appointed by the minister. But as a Zimbabwean, of course, I can confirm that the members who were appointed didn't know anything about diamonds.
I did the supplementary too. You want the supplementary? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Kurotwi, can you update this House with regard to the board members who were appointed to the minister? Do you have the list of the board members and their credentials?
I can bring it. Because look, it has been a long time. Some of them, but I can submit the list when I submit with the.
Mr. Chairman, please, if you can do that, I'm sure it's very important that we have the list. Probably we understand the background, so that we work on this. Then my new question.
I have taken note of you. I've taken note of you. Who else should I take note of? I've taken note of Honorable Chiadzwa, I'm coming to you. So, in addition to those documents, can you also furnish us with the document of the board of directors that you also sent? Chiadzwa.
Chair, it's a follow-up.
Honorable Chiadzwa, is yours a new question to follow up?
It's a follow-up.
Can I exhaust the follow-ups?
Yes.
Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. In your presentation, Mr. Kurotwi, you said because of the inexperience of the board members which were being appointed by the minister, foreigners, that is the foreign investors, could have taken advantage of their lack of knowledge. How will you comment on your own company as Canada, which also a 50% shareholding being by the same foreigners? Did it also they took the advantage of the inexperience of the board members which were appointed by the minister, which in your own words you said they didn't know anything about the diamond? Wasn't that the advantage or the advantage of your company in Canada?
Thank you, Honorable. What happened with us, as I have said, by the time we were mining, we were not selling. That is why we had a stockpile of 1.4 million out of 1.7 million we mined. What we did as Canada, we put a system that diamonds are supposed to be auctioned locally for the 2 parcels we sold. We asked ZMDC, we asked MMCZ, we also asked all the other relevant stakeholders to participate so that we get full value of the stones. We have never sold our stones as us as company. Those 2 sales we did, we invited companies from outside to come for tender, and that tender was open. All stakeholders were there. So we have never taken advantage. Why? Because we didn't sell all what we have. And the rest of it, we left it, and that's the parcel we are claiming now, which was taken.
So Chair, how do you convince the foreigners?
Thank you. Why? Because my understanding is we are trying to, as Parliament, we are trying to understand, to see where loopholes were, so that the country can understand how much, if ever, we have lost. We are still mining again to see how best we can also protect. What happens is, it's not all companies, when we started, which were selling diamonds locally. My understanding, other companies were selling out of Zimbabwe. That's the reason why I said it has to be looked into, because when diamonds were sold, it is true that most of the board members didn't have an idea of how diamonds are valued.
But was it not the role of MMCZ? Because the act is very clear, except for gold. So I also say that a lot of diamonds left the country without going through MMCZ.
It's like, I'll give an example. MMCZDS has got so agents to sell all diamonds in this country. But when we started, as I have said, things were not as straight as we would want to understand. There's a lot of things which were happening. MMC, like us, as I said, we were getting buyers to come to our office. Yes, MMCZ used to participate, but the question is, to what extent did Zimbabweans understand diamonds? That is where the issue is.
But the MMCZ Act was 1982. Yeah. And to me, why did you not comply with the Act? I think this is what the issue is. There is an Act which says all minerals, except for gold, must be marketed through MMCZ. And then you then don't market them through MMCZ. So what was the motive of not following a proper laid down procedure where an Act of Parliament creates MMCZ solely for the purpose of marketing?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Canada did not sell outside MMCZ. We did, but the issue is the understanding of Zimbabwean representatives of the diamond is the issue I'm talking about. That from experience, I noticed that representatives from Zimbabwe, most of them didn't have understanding of the diamonds. I did not say that we sold, Canada did sell outside MMCZ.
Honorable Zena, did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. It's a follow-up on your question on the MMCZ involvement. My understanding is the Chairman says it's only gold and silver which is not MMCZ. When you were pricing your two cells, which you made, was MMCZ involved? My understanding is MMCZ has got gemologists and they actually give you a price for your diamond. Are we saying MMCZ was not involved? If MMCZ was not involved, can you confirm or tell us, was the minister involved in setting the prices? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable. MMCZ was involved. Even money was coming through MMCZ. That is why even on my query, I indicated that the money which were confiscated was with MMCZ. That money was for the diamond process. It was involved. The issue I'm saying is the understanding of our people. That's what I'm saying. By that time, most of them didn't have the know-how. That's what I'm saying.
So are you telling this committee that the price which Canada sold their diamond was a fair price, despite that our people do not understand? I suppose that's your opinion of saying people do not understand. But my understanding is actually the experts at MMCZ who understand diamond. At that point in time, I don't know about now. But are you saying we did not lose money when Canada was making sales of the ocean?
But the two sales we did, as I've indicated, we did auction. We sold to the highest bidder. So when you do tender system, definitely you part with your diamonds after you get the highest. So those two we did sell on tender. That was tender system.
Let's follow up.
Thank you, Chairman. There's something that I don't understand from the presentation of Mr. Kurotwi. Mr. Kurotwi, did you personally enter into an investment agreement with the ZMDC?
Coal Mine did enter into that agreement, and I have submitted the copy. We have got the MOU with me here.
Okay, thank you. Right, you said you entered as Coal Mine.
Yes.
All right. Then in that company, the owner of is that the company that owns the equipment that is still being used in Chiadzwa?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is it still existing, this company?
The company is in liquidation now.
And in South Africa?
Okay. Coal Mining, as I've said, went into a joint venture between Coal Mining and ZMDC to form Canadale. Canadale is a local company. We were mining in Chiadzwa as Canadale.
Okay, who were the shareholders in that time when you entered into that?
It's nice to recognize the chase. You just fired I think you are coming to something.
Thank you. Yes, the other supplementary question arises from the bankings that we've done in Tamangira. Want to separate issues from tissues. Want to then separate individuals from companies. Was this money being deposited into his personal account or into the law firm's account? That's the first one. Now, the second one, we are dealing with trying to avert and avoid further plunderings in the diamond sector by investigating what occurred in the previous dispensation. In your opinion, if we had to look in the future of the diamond sector, how much diamonds do we still have in the area that you talk about, aware of what you have said before, that you were advised to nationalize those diamonds? So it was maybe with some quantification. In your opinion, according to the advice that you got, do we still have some $700 billion diamonds in Chiadzwa area, in Marangi area? You are free to say, in your opinion, how much in terms of...
I don't think I'll allow you to answer that as long as you have not explored. We cannot get responses of somebody coming out down because we need to explore. When you explore, we then have an answer pertaining to the exploration of the diamond.
Yes.
And I think we must understand that we did respond to the fact that they did not explore.
Yes.
So if you don't explore, you cannot know the value of anything. So I think we must be guided by facts and figures which are actually come before us after a due process that we all accept has happened.
Allow him to answer the
question. No, you can't answer the question. Yes, the first one is the answer in terms of money went into
this now or the law firm's account, because we want to separate individuals from
Okay, yes, that's...
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, money was transferred from Canada account into the attorney's law firm.
Okay. No, let's just keep that one. Let me go to Honorable Mkwena and then Honorable Vega, and then I'll come this side now and I can be here till tomorrow on this side.
I'm sorry, Chair. Floor kuenda kuna Mr. Kurotwi. Mr. Kurotwi wataura zvinhu zviviri. Zvitatu. Iyo vataura kuti vane experience munyaya dzekumenya kumadiamonds. Ndo chekutanga chavataura paintroduction yavo. Chepiri vakataura zvekuti maboard members vakakomborwa kugara muboard members vakagara muboard vakasarwa naformer minister vanga vasina ruzivo kana kuti experience kumadiamonds. Vozoka zvakataura kuti nyaya yemamukuhosa. Saka ini ndiri kubvunza Mr. Kurotwi kuti ava maboard members vakaiswa muboard vasina experience uye makuhosa mataura ndo pangabuda here 15 billion kuti yakarasikanako uye imi neruzivo rwenyu mungabatsira komiti here kuti 15 billion yakatangira papi kurasika pamaimaina here kana kuti after imi mabva pane mamwe companies.
Kuziva kwangu nenguva yandakava muchiadzwa, Chiadzwa yakagara ichingovapo kubva tichipinda muindependence, yanga iripo futi tisati tawana rusungunuko. Vaiziva nezvokuwanikwa kwamadiamonds vaingoita zvavaida. Isu tose takazotoziva nezvekukosha kwechiadzwa muna 2006 paya pakapindwa navanhu vaishedzwa nezaro kuti magweja. Pakapinda vanhu vakawanda vangava kumakumi ezvuru, umwe nomumwe waiwana madiamonds. Ndingati ini ndichipindura, musi wokutanga wandakawana mukana wokupinda muchiadzwa, ndakaenda pataita due diligence, ndakaenda nemageologist tichifamba takanonga madiamonds matatu. Tichingofamba kwete paichero, tichingofamba musango, taitoti akanonga wototorwa picture wopuwa security. Uwandu hwaiwanikwa kwamadiamonds hwakawandisa. Mazuva okutanga vaitoziva waigona kungononga uchifamba. Saka uwandu hwemadiamonds akaruzwa nenyika hwakawandisa. Ini ndinotova nepfungwa dzokuti unogona kupfuura iyoyo 15 billion achitawa nezvayo. Nechikonzero chokuti indati musi wokutanga wandakasvika muchiadzwa tichifamba kwete pakacherwa, tichingofamba tichida kungoona mamiriro akaita matombo, takanonga madiamonds matatu. Isu vakasvika nenguva fupi taikwanisa kunonga madiamonds matatu. Kuvaisweramo, kuvakagaramo, uye vaiziva makore ese iwawo vanogona kunge vakawana zvakawanda. Tosvikazve panguva yakapinda vanhu vedu vainzi magweja. Vakapinda mu 2000 vasati vapinda pakatanga yakapiwa iDBS. DBS ndio yanga yakapuwa mukana wokuitawo zvamadiamonds imomo. Vakaita makore avakaita vachingotorawo pasina iziva kuti varotora chii, kusvikira vega vangoregedza. Pakauyazve kambani inonzi ACR yakatawo zvayaingoita ichiti inoita exploration, ikatorawo zvayaingotora, hapana kuzoti pakatorwa chii. Isu vanhu tinotaura nenguva yapinda makambani kubva muna 2009 ndo pari kutariswa chete nevanhu. Asi kurasika kwamadiamonds haana kutanga kurasikira pa 2009. Madiamonds anga achingorasika bvapo kutanga pese vanhu vasingazivi. 2006 yacho takaita 2006, 7, 8 nzvimbo iyoyo yanga ichingova wada aingodawo madiamonds anga achingonotora. Isu taifamba ndo pataifamba tichinotaura nemamwe makambani voidzimwe nyika vanoita zvemadiamonds. Tainosangana navanhu vedu vaiuyawo namadiamonds. Aino uwandu hwakawandisa, madiamonds achingotengeswa. Madiamonds edu mazhinji akatengeswa South Africa, akatengeswa akawandisa nevanhu vedu vaingouya vachitora. Mazhinji akatengeswa muMozambique, mamwewo ndo aibuda achiinda kune dzimwe nyikawo. Saka uwandu hwemadiamonds zveshuwa takarasikirwa nemadiamonds akawanda. Ini kufunga kwangu neexperience yandakaona ndirimo, takaruza mari yakawanda inogona kupfuura 15 billion yacho. Tozouya patatanga kuchera zviri pamutemo pacho, ndanchitaura nyaya yekuti yekusaziva maitirwe. Izvezvi tese hatina ruzivo rwokuti kambani A kubva musi wayatanga kusvika musi wayabuda yakachera chii. Vanongoziva ndo vakachera chete kuti sitakachera mamillions akati. Saka Chiadzwa kuona kwangu yanga ichingova jera wachera, ende mukudare imomo madiamonds zuva rega rega anga achibuda nouwandu hwakawandisa. Saka ini ndinokuziva kwangu madiamonds akabuda akawandisa, ende mafiga anotaurwa nezvawaya kuti 15 billion tinogona kunge takapfuura zvakawanda pa 15 billion ipapo.
Is when the government got involved through ZNGC, I think it was clear. Because I think the former president only talk about something that government was involved and responding to that. So I think it's important for you to stick to that. When the former president was speaking from a point of government being a shareholder in diamond mines. So the question really is, was that money lost during that time as arranged by the president, the former president?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is very important. President was the head of state, who has got ministers, like in this instance, Minister of Mines, who has got also parastatals under him. And all those parastatals were producing statistics of production. So from those statistics and also from the historical, yes, I believe he was well informed.
Supplementary Mr. Kurotwi, basa as a community, very experience in diamonds. In the other words, Penseki, and Minister of Mines, former Minister Obert Mpofu, the former Minister Vamit. Why one is good? Kuna kweli tingati wana uzwe wana watatu hao. Former Penseki wa kutikana ndio wanaenda wakumilianika kutupai wheresoever mtengo kwa matani. Sasa takimila wa mle kuzwa kwa nchi. Zawai bila nika wale ni mzuri hadi kwa matani msao kutikana.
Ukichango kitenda
ndinotenda hangu chairman. Sokutara kwandamboita hakuna kuvaziva kwandinoita ini pakati pavo anga ano ruzivo. Ndokusakani isu takazama kubva muna 2009 tichivakumbira kuti ngatiitei zvinoitwa nedzimwe nyika, tivakevo madiamond center kuitira kuti madiamonds edu awane paanorurama, achiita kuti munhu wese aone kuti diamond rabva pamugodhi uyu rabva rakawanda zvakadai rasvika apa zvinorevei. Taivapa muenzaniso wokuti kune dzimwe nyika dzisingatocheri madiamonds acho dzina vanoti madiamond center, okuti hurumende inenge ine mukana wokuvamo kubudikidza nemapazi avo akaita sana MMCZ, vana Zimura, vachinoona vachikondrola kufamba kwamadiamonds nokuuya kwemari munyika nemabudire anoita madiamonds. Takati takazvifunga izvozvo tichiona kuti mabudiro ari kuita madiamonds ari kubuda vanhu vasina ruzivo, even vatinoti makorokoza vaya pane imwe nguva vaibvumirwa, hurumende yakatopesa mutemo wokuti vatengerwe kuri Reserve Bank. Dambudziko nderekuti vaibuda nawo vainomatengesa nemari isina nemusoro wese. Abuda nawo onopuwa less than a quarter yevalue yemadiamonds abuda nawo. Ndozvakatipa kuti tikumbire hurumende kubudikidza neMinistry of Mines kuti chitenderai makambani avake nzvimbo inoita kuti imi mukwanise kuona kumanejwa kwamadiamonds, muchiona mabudiro anoita, mafambiro anoita. Asi dambudziko iroro kuti vaitungamirira vacho kuministry kwacho vanga vasingada hawo kuti zvinhu zviitwe pachena. Nanhasi tazama hapana chakabuda. Pachizouyavo vana former permanent secretary vamataura nezvavo, zvese zvavaita kunesi vari muindastry zvanga zvisizvo maitirwa azvo. Zvava zvisina njere kuti permanent secretary ndiye unotenderera achifamba munyika achinotsvaka kutengesa madiamonds. Pachinhambo chokuti toisa nzvimbo inokwezva vatengi vose vepasi pose vouya, madiamonds edu toatengesa sematengeserwo anoitwawo kune dzimwe nyika. Asi nenyaya yekuti vaitungamirira vainakidzwa nezvavaiwanawo, vanga vasingadi, zvapa kuti ivheni muzuva rinoratiri nhasi hakuna unokwanisa kuona kuti diamond industry ndeipi. Hakuna unokwanisa kuziva kuti tachera madiamonds kwamakore osvika 10, chataita nemari yemadiamonds ndechipi. Saka vanga vasina ruzivo, hakuna chakabuda. Tiri kungoenderera zvemberi. Even iko zvino madiamonds Chiadzwa arungocherwa, arungobuda zuva roga roga, anongova maexperiments. Uyu unouya unouya waita experiment yake yonobondera nyika yoruza mari, totangazve uchauya woita experiment yake tobondera toruza mari. Chaingogona kuti tisaita izvozvo kungotevedzera zvinoitwa dzimwe nyika, tongoita muitirwo unoitwa dzimwe nyika, nekuti isu takatozozviziva dzimwe nyika dzava namakore akawanda chiita madiamonds. Isu taiti ngatichikopai zvakaitwa nevamwe vakatitangira, tozviita zviri nani kuti tibatsirikane. Asi mukana wewe wanga ushayikwa. Saka zvezvazvo vaita zvinhu zvisizvo.
I just want you to take note that the minister is waiting outside, so we might have to just stick to real issues. So that
Thank you, Chair. Just 2 quick ones. Firstly, just as a follow-up to what you just asked, in terms of there's what a diamond sender, which we told, I think, about 2 years ago, whereby you wanted a certain percentage from the diamond mining companies, like 20%, in order for that diamond sender maybe to process or to do what you call it development. Now that we have a new dispensation, if you try to apply again for that certain percentage in order for the diamond to be processed at your diamond sender. And lastly, Chairman, Mr. Kurotwi, you had a Canada company which had a 50-50 percentage share with the government, whereby the arrangement was that the foreign partners, they were supposed to bring something, be it in terms of equipment, in order for them to get that aspect of 50%. Then the government, I think, they provide the land. If you can just brief us whether you, as Canada, you did your part of the deal, whereby you provided the 50% aspect of equipment or be it monies. If Canada had done that, what about the other companies which were also involved in the shares and mining areas in terms of their allocation? Did they also did the same in terms of giving the 50% shares, be it some equipment or whatever?
We have invited all the diamond companies to come, and I think we'll ask them those questions when they're here. We cannot answer on behalf of other companies. Let them respond to things which concern you. Those are 2 pertinent questions. If you can just answer them quickly, because we need to really round out them.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, according to us, we complied. We actually did as per our MOU. What we were expected to do, we did it.
And the diamond center?
On the diamond center, at the moment, I haven't engaged the minister. I have only met him once. I tried I just did a courtesy call to his office. Then I sent a letter, which I have mentioned earlier on, for our machinery and stock, which was confiscated. I tried to follow up now for business. Unfortunately, the minister and the PEMSEC, they are always busy. I haven't got a chance to meet them to discuss about the diamond center.
Yes, I think the last question, unless it's a burning one that you able to exhaust members.
Thank you, Chair.
I want to try and conserve the energy for the next session.
I wanted to find out, Mr. Kurotwi, you said you were you mentioned that you were chairman for cutting company, diamond cutting company. Diamonds that your students will be learning to cut, or diamonds that are sent out of the country, how are they declared? How do they come back cut and polished, or do they just go? And how will you supply the diamonds to your students?
And on that one, do you also think it is a good move by government to send our diamonds to be polished in Botswana?
Not at all. Not at all. From an industry point of view, we are repeating the same mistakes which were done before. And in my own view, we are not achieving anything. Why are we avoiding to do what we are expected to do as a country? Why are we avoiding to follow what other countries are doing, those who are benefiting from their diamonds? And the worst of some who does not even own a single mine, they are managing their the diamond industry professionally far better than what we are doing. I don't think that's the best idea.
I think this issue on the students.
Chairman, there were students that were sent to China to learn how to cut and polish. In terms of beneficiation, those students that were sent out of the country, there were diamonds going out of the country under the disguise of going to the students. How was the country getting the diamonds back, or how were the students, how were they declaring them from Marangi or from his cutting company to go out, because they need to be compensated?
I think that one is good
for the minister.
That one is good for the minister because
but I think
there are students that went out.
I can answer if you mind.
And what are they doing, and all the questions of them going away with diamonds. I think the minister.
I can also answer if you don't mind. Yeah, we raised a serious issue against the government, against the Minister of Mines about that issue. We found it was very disturbing to us. We ran a diamond school. We were struggling to get diamonds from MMCZ to teach students locally. We were shocked to read in the media that our permanent secretary flew all the way to China, visited Chinese school, and he agreed with that school to send 10,000 carats of diamonds every month. I raised an issue with them and I wrote a letter of complaint to say, as a ministry, you have never created just 5 minutes to come and see what we are doing as a local company. But we have got energy and time to fly all the way to China, right? You are taking diamonds to China. My issue was, if you thought what you are doing is necessary, wasn't it better for you to bring trainers into the country so that they train more students? Instead of buying air tickets, you sent diamonds. I calculated and I found out that the whole thing was not adding up. So I also raised that issue, and I also demanded that if you have got so much diamonds that you have got surplus to give other nations. So I also demand as an institution to be given the same allocation. They agreed. We signed an MOU, but we have never, that MOU was never followed. So we didn't get anything out of that MOU. The last thing again, which I also wanted to clarify from what the chair asked, whether sending our diamonds is the best idea. There is no way diamond industry in this country will grow because of the nature, how everything is being managed. It's like in this case, we have got companies which were given license to cut and polish diamonds. You give license to cut and polish, you don't guarantee the same company supply of diamonds. We are expected to employ cutters in your factory. At the end of the day, we are not guaranteed to get diamonds. The question is, how are you going to run the thing? So all the people have folded their arms. When we folded the arms, we hear now the very same diamonds are supposed to go to the neighboring country for cutting and polishing. When we are sitting with our equipment in the country, which are idle. With all due respect, Botswana has started doing diamonds long before us. But the question is, they don't manufacture technology. They also buy from the same source where we are buying our technology. So, isn't it wiser for us to procure the technology? If we feel we don't have enough skills, why can't we hire the schools to come in the country, give them the job to do, pay them a salary, so that there is transparency and you get maximum value out of it? That's my opinion.
I think, members, we're going to close the session. My last question to you is, do you think that investors will come and invest in this country, in this environment which you've just given us evidence to?
Yeah, in as far as investors are concerned, in my own view, Zimbabwe is a lion's den. Investors will just come at their own peril because there is no guarantee that whatever you invest, you get your money back. I'm a victim. I'm a victim of that. It has taken me almost 10 years to recover what we have invested genuinely. The company was lured into this country. The company did exactly what it was supposed to do. But politics come to play, and where we are, we have lost. And there is no guarantee that it's not only me. There are several people who are crying out there, and there's no recourse at the end of the day.
I think
ask him for his prayer in this committee.
What exactly would you want this committee to do in terms of making sure that the diamond sector improves?
Thank you.
In the future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Honorable. Personally, I'm very grateful. At least you are executing your mandate, the oversight mandate, and we are just hopeful that whatever findings we are going to get will benefit this nation. From experience, we have noticed that there is independence. Ministers, they do whatever they want to do, and you cannot go anywhere for anything, and they are getting away with it. So with this initiative, personally, I'm very grateful, and we hope definitely at the end of the day we'll come up with something positive so that we protect a continuous loss of our natural resources through individuals. When a mineral is a national, where we expect to see transparency, where we expect to see accountability and everything. So in my own view, I'm very grateful. At least it's a good initiative, which I believe definitely will take us somewhere. so that this country eventually will benefit with its own natural resources.
Mr. Kurotwi, we want to thank you as a committee. It's been a very insightful time where you certainly have spoken to a lot of issues that you also taking clarity, and certainly it gives us a foundation to then ask the responsible authorities how they discharge their duties. Remember that you are protected and the privileges of anything else that come to you, report to the government. I wish you all the best and go well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll ask you to go for a recess. No. You can go for a quick recess.
No,